What's going on, people? So, as you can see here to my left, got this box of shoes in here, right? Well, I mean, the shoes are outside the box, but you know what I'm saying. Either way, right? I'm going to talk about those in a second, but first I'm going to give you a backstory. I know you didn't ask for it. I get that, right? But there are timestamps. You can skip on past this if you want to and go to like the main part or whatever. But here's the thing, right? So, Less Than Jake puts up this post or whatever during Black Friday week, as everybody else did on Black Friday week, saying what their Black Friday thing was going to be, right? Whether it's a sale or some limited thing or restocking of something, whatever, right? Everybody was doing something. And so they're all like, yeah, we're going to put these shoes up. This is our Black Friday thing. Hello Rockview, yeah, you know, some kind of anniversary of sorts. And I'm like, oh, well, fantastic. I'm going to have to see about making this happen, right? I will be ready on Black Friday day when this happens. And so, you know what? Luckily, somebody came along into the comments on this pair of shoes right here. Remember these? No? I get it. But either way, so somebody came into the comments on those. Oh, you're going to go for these? And like, something about the way they said it made me look into like when they were going up for sale or whatever. So I was like, oh, maybe I should go and check this out, you know? Luckily I did, because it ended up being the Wednesday and not the Friday that this sale was going to happen. Otherwise, I mean, it would have just been me not sitting here doing this video, I guess. So not a whole lot would have changed. But luckily it did play out how I wanted it to, which is like me getting these and now me being able to sit here and talk to you guys about them. Because, you know, I'm a big Less Than Jake guy, right? So this is something that I wanted. Now, before I go getting into the shoe thing, again, still more, not really backstory, but side tangents and such. They did have other stuff going on the website, right? So I picked up this shirt right here. So you got that, kind of like has that like Notorious B.I.G. crown sort of deal going on with the Less Than Jake dude. And then if you flip that bad boy around, you have Less Than Jake on the top, back, middle section. So there's that. Pretty cool shirt, at least in my opinion, right? So I bought it and I was like, yeah, I'm going to wear this when I do the review because it'll make sense, you know? And then, as it turns out, I happen to also have another pair of shoes that I'm going to be talking about today. These right here, some Beavis and Buttheads, right? So I will not be wearing that shirt because I was like, yeah, I'll just get something that fits for both of them. So I found this and from Amazon, and so now that's why I have that. And also I bought this here hat too. So they probably still have some stuff on their page from their little Black Friday like news clothing section or whatever. So go check it out. It's probably all right. I think that's everything, and if it's not, you'll know because I'll start rambling somewhere in the middle of this video. Moving on from all that stuff, I already showed you the side of the box, so let's go ahead and talk about these here shoes right here, huh? This right here is the Vans Classic Slip On Less Than Jake Hello Rockview colorway. I'm going to say that I did not say that exactly how I had it in my head, but what's done is done, right? So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. Down there across the bottom, right? What you're looking at down there is basically what all Vans shoes seem to look like for the most part. I mean, not those EXO ranges and stuff like that, sure, but most of them do have that same gum bottom, which is a nice color. I do like it. But then when we skip over here to the upper and stuff, well, the midsole for now anyways, you have some plainer stuff going on, but it does have that Hello Rockview tag going on because obviously these are the Hello Rockview shoes. But otherwise, it's basically just going to be your standard Vans stuff, right? Not a whole lot to see going on in there, outside or even the inside. We'll get to that in the comfort section. Now, I'm giving you some other pictures, right? Because, you know, why not? It's that part of the video where I slip these two other guys in there, right? And you can kind of tell from one picture, like, oh, there's something going on there. But then you have to see, like, the other picture to really get the whole picture. You know what I'm saying? But if you already know what we're talking about, you already knew what was going on here, now don't you? And you want to just move on with the review? I get it, let's do that. So I'm going to go through this real quick. It's a classic slip-on. I've done a video about these a time or two in the past. And as you saw, not a whole lot to say. So we'll just get into some quick details and move on through this. So down here on the right shoe, right, you're going to have the dude. I don't know if he has a name or whatever. He's in his little business suit diving into a pool and all that good stuff. It is a pretty nice quality print job that they did on here, right? And if you want to skip on over here to the other shoe, right? That also a very nice print job, at least in my opinion, right? So you got this girl, whoever she may be, right? She's got a little plate thing with some drinks on it and all that good stuff, right? So, you know, you put them next to each other, kind of like gives you the whole Hello Rockview experience and all that, which is pretty cool. So there's that. Now, moving along past all the front piece, right? there's really not a whole lot else to say, but on the side, for anyone who's new around here to the classic slip-ons, in this little midsection, you do have a little stretchy piece, right? So there's going to be that. And then outside of that, the rest of the upper, it's basically just going to be this canvas style material. So it's nothing amazing, you know, but it works pretty well for this. And you'll also see some stars sprinkled throughout the rest of it, right? Now, as we get around onto the back, right, what you're seeing over there is mostly what a lot of the Vans look like, I guess. But this one does have Less Than Jake tattooed across the bottom piece, right? So that's pretty cool. It looks a little blurry possibly in some of the pictures, but that's really just the way they did it. So that time, it's actually not my fault that the picture doesn't look super great. And speaking of not looking super great, this bottom piece where you have this little Vans off the wall sticker thing, I really do not like the way that looks. It's just been a thing that I haven't liked on any of my other Vans shoes that have it. So I bring it up just because I'm doing a video and most of the things that pass through my mind just get said out loud. That's just how it works. Now, on the inside of these shoes, right, there's nothing going on in there. It doesn't say like Less Than Jake or anything like that. It's just going to be plain. So in case you were curious or whatever, which shouldn't be because there was a picture earlier that showed that, now you know. And so let's go ahead and move on and talk about the inside real quick. So on the inside, basically you just have Vans down there, right? And it's pretty much plain white. Now if you caught this one, the right one, you'll notice a lot of like black lint from the time that I tried these on during like a YouTube live unboxing thing, right? And I put these on like the one time and they were just like destroyed on the inside, right? Which doesn't matter because it's the inside, right? So if you like compare like the left and the right, the left one being unworn, yeah, like that 10 seconds of me just putting these on and make sure they fit true to size or whatever, should have said spoiler alert. Yeah, that's what happened to them. So it is what it is, just something to think about if you care, I guess. Otherwise, the sock liner piece is just going to be up there at the top with a fake leather sort of material. So there you go. But I suppose that's pretty much it as far as everything goes with the looks and whatnot. So we're going to hit some personal thoughts and then do the sizing. Personally, I am really into these, you know. I'm not going to sit here and act like Hello Rockview is like my favorite album and I had to have it for that reason. It's not. It's probably in with the out crowd, honestly. But I do like it. It's just that I like Less Than Jake a whole heck of a lot. And so they could have put any album on these shoes and I would have bought them, right? Because this, you know, one of those things. But when I got them in hand and stuff and I was looking at them today, you know, looking at them closer, doing all the pictures, I was like, man, this came out like really good. Because I noticed that it was nice when I did the unboxing. But now looking at it closer, I was like, yeah, this is pretty solid. I wouldn't mind a couple more of these, you know. But we'll see what they do in the future or whatever. Because I think the last pair sold pretty well and this pair did. So hopefully the door is still open with Vans. But just looking at it all in all, I think it's the right model for this because, you know, you need something with a little extra room to put the picture on there and you don't have the laces getting in the way. So you got that going on. And then just the way they did everything, just the execution overall, I just have to give this a thumbs up, you know. The comfort and whatnot, we'll talk about that in a second. And I'll just say this, it leaves a lot to be desired, sure. But all in all, just looking at it for what it is, taking it face value only, you know, because, you know, the face is on there, I guess you could say. Yeah, I've got no complaints about these whatsoever, and I would assume that everybody else, the other 326 people or so that got a pair, they are probably also happy with them. Hopefully, those other 320 whatever people were actual people that wanted these, because shoe sales can get a little weird at times. It's not always pretty. Either way, let's go ahead and move on. One thing real quick. So before I do the sizing thing, like I said, I do have the last pair that came out, right? There's no real reason to do a comparison or anything because honestly, these are two totally different shoes. You know, there's nothing similar at all about them other than that they're both from Less Than Jake. So if anybody was wondering about that, like, oh, like I heard they had shoes in the past. Like they did. Those were them. They don't really matter for this particular video. Now, other things, if they do some other ones like this, then maybe we'll start revisiting things. But this time around, I don't need to worry about it. Sizing, right? Let's do that. I bought these in a size 9.5, right? Because I was thinking like this should work out. Some of their other shoes, like the skate highs, tend to feel a little big sometimes, so I can go down a half in those and There's some other model that feels the same way, but I felt like the 9.5 would be good, and it is, right? So no complaints. And even on those other ones that I did go down on, I could have still done a true to size fit, like the same 9.5, and I would have been fine. It's just that as someone who wears a lot of running shoes and things of that nature, I get more used to like shoes that fit a certain way, you know what I mean? And so that's just kind of where my sizing preference comes in. But all in all, true to size will fit fine for most people. That's what I would believe. Now, as far as like the comfort and whatnot goes, right? It's not there. It is mostly just kind of terrible because when it comes to the Vans shoes, there's not a whole lot going on in this midsole, right? I've said that before. The comfy cushions, ultra cushions, or whatever, those are in a league of their own. But this, just the standard stuff, it's not great. Now, if you happen to be one of those people who always wears Vans and whatnot, then you're probably knowing what to expect. And for you, I'll say it's fantastic. It's going to be exactly what you want. So go ahead and wear them all day. Be happy about it. But for me, again, someone who wears a lot of Kayanos and 350s and Gel Light 3s and Ultra Boosts or whatever, stuff that's like built straight up for comfort, I just can't really sign off on these in that way. But, you know, it is what it is. They still look pretty cool, so I can at least give them that. But yeah, true to size fit, all in all, should be good for most people. Comfort, well, that's a personal preference there, so we're just going to leave it at that and move on from there. But I don't think I have anything else to say because I've said so much. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, we're going to close this thing out. Next thing up on the list is these right here, these Beavis and Butthead shoes. So if you want to see this video, it may not be uploaded right after this one, but it's the one I'm recording after this one. From me to you, have a nice rest of your day or rest of your night, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm going to do that thing I just said with these pair of shoes right here. Later, people.